Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I'm terribly sorry, but school has been terrible. But now that the coronavirus is all over the world and in Spain the schools are closed for 2 weeks, I have a lot more time. So I decided to do a long overdue Unhaul that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. But it's not hard for me to unhaul books, but it's hard to pick. So I decided to use Books and Lawless challenge that she did quite a long time ago and use her prompts to do this unhaul. So yeah, if you're interested in that, keep watching. The book I rated low was The Killer Underpants, Michael Lawrence. Now, I don't usually give books bad ratings, like it's very weird and unusual for me to give a book a bad rating, but this one was just unpleasant. Like, one of my English teachers just gifted me this book because it was lying around the class and literally no one used it ever, no one read it, so she just gave it to me. And I read it and it was quite frankly terrible. Like, The Killer Underpants, like, I thought it was gonna be funny and witty, but it was actually not that good. I think I maybe gave it 1 or 2 stars last year, and I do not recommend. The second prompt is a book that I changed my mind about. That book is actually a Spanish book called Aquí Dentro Siempre Llueve by Cris Puello. Now, the first book I read by this author I actually really loved and really enjoyed. And this book, when I first read it, I was like okay about it, but I reread it in February and it was honestly terrible. Like, I like nothing about it. This is actually a book of poems, so that might have been one of the reasons, because I don't read poetry often, but I just did not like it as much. I'm very sorry. Like, I was so disappointed because I loved his first book. The third prompt is a series that you won't be completing. This actually hurted me. Like, I know this is, let me just give a backstory before I actually show the book. Now, I have a very unpopular opinion, and that is that I love the After series by Anna Todd. Like, I used to be a huge One Direction fan, and I used to be on Wattpad like way back in the day reading those things. I was one of the first people, well, not first, but you know, first people to read After on Wattpad, and I loved it. And I see its flaws, but it still holds a very special place in my heart. But Anna Todd continued the series after the original series with a companion series about Landon as the main character. Now, those, I only have the first 2 in Spanish. This one and this one, I don't remember the titles in English, but these were terrible. Like, nothing happened in them. I was so absolutely bored by them, and like, honestly, I'm not gonna spoil you because like it is a continuation, but just absolutely nothing happened. Like, even if you love Landon, which I did, it's not worth it. And I don't know if there's any more books right now, but I will not be continuing this companion series. Now, I did love After, I repeat. The next prompt is a book I DNF. Now, I have never DNF'd books, maybe like once in my life, but I don't usually do that. Like, even if it's bad, I will finish to the end, but as I have told you earlier, I don't usually give books bad ratings, so that means I don't usually read bad books that I would want to DNF anyways. But this is a book that I remember being the closest to wanting to DNF. That book is Dear Lupin, Letters to a Wayward Son by Roger Mortimer and Charlie Mortimer. Now, this book consists of letters that a father wrote to his son, and when the father died, the son made it into a book, compiled all the letters and made them into a book. Now, this was interesting at the beginning, but it just got more boring and more boring. And it just made it sound like something like it actually wasn't. Like, the synopsis and the summary made it sound as if these were letters to a very rebellious adolescent boy, but really they just had nothing to them. And honestly, like, I didn't DNF it, I did finish it, but I wish I had. Like, this is one of the cases I actually wish I had. The next prompt is books I have multiple copies of. The first one is Mini Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. Now, if you do not know, she's one of my favorite authors, but this is like, I ordered this off Book Depository and this little like pocketbook came, and it absolutely does not match with the rest of the series, which is this size. Like, sorry, like, look at this, look at the difference. So I found a big size, bought it, and now just want to get rid of this one. Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. Now, I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I read it in January and completely adored it. This book is about a woman in an alternate world where she has committed a crime, and she's either to be executed or become the king's poison tester, which is an execution in itself, because if someone poisons the king, you die. So yeah, but I really love this book. It's amazing. But I ended up getting the series with disc covers, so I only had one of these, so it was just not worth it to keep both of them, so I'm just gonna get this one, even though I do like these better. But like, it's not worth it. I already have the whole series in these covers. Calendar Girl books by Audrey Carlan. I have the first 2 volumes in Spanish, but I got the volumes 2, 3, and 4 in the English covers. Now, don't get me wrong, I also prefer these covers, but these are in Spanish. They cost like 20 euros a book, and these literally cost me 3 euros each, so I just thought it was kind of worth it to get these instead. But I love those covers, I do. This series is about a girl that goes on a tour with a band and things happen. Like, I'm not too sure about it, but yeah. Prom is a book you'll never actually get to, and unfortunately this book is The Void Moon by Michael Connelly. Now, this book is like the 9th book in the series, and I sorry, it's broken. I found this like for free at a garage sale. They were like, just keep it if you want it. I was like, fine, books, great. But I'm just not gonna, like, I'm not that interested in this story. I'm not that interested in the story to actually like get the first 8 and then read this, so I just don't think it's worth it, so I'm just gonna get rid of this. Next prompt is a book you bought because of the hype, and I'm clarifying, I'm not regretting buying this book because of the hype. I regret buying this edition of the book because I was so excited to get this book, and I bought the edition I didn't actually want, so now I'm just gonna unhaul it till I get the one I want. And that book is Canciones para Paula by Blue Jeans, which is a Spanish author that is very liked in young adult literature here. And yeah, this book, if you do not know, is about a girl who falls in love with 2 guys. It's a love triangle. I read this years ago. I love it, but I just want the rest of his books I have in these huge editions, and they all look very pretty beside each other, so I just want to have this one in the same edition. That's it. I know, it's stupid. Next prompt is a book you bought because of the cover. Now, it's not because this cover is pretty or beautiful, it's just I thought it was funny. Like, my school was just offering up library books, and I just saw this face, and I thought it was funny. This is a guide to Barcelona by Jose Maria Garandel. So yeah, but I'm honestly like, I do not need a guide to Barcelona. I live in the south of Spain, so I just don't need this, but I thought it was very funny because of the face. It's a book I know nothing about. Now, this prompt and next prompt, I could just use these 2 books for each of them, because it's both of these reasons are validated. These books are these 2 Chinese books that one of my teachers gave to me at least 3 years ago, and I was like, cool, Chinese books, why not? I do not need these. I do not know how to speak Chinese. Nobody I know knows how to speak Chinese. Like, why on earth would I accept this? But yeah, this prompt, which is know nothing about, I know nothing about these because I can't read them or even the title. And the last one is I didn't buy these. As I said, these were gifted by a teacher. So yeah, I have no reason to really, do this. So anyway, I hope you guys like this unhaul, and subscribe for more. Like, please, and comment down below any books that you didn't like or were planning to unhaul. See you next time.